my YouTube channel. I'm actually back on your screens again to remind you that you can do it all and you can have it all. My name is Zama Madlala, usisho ukhabaldaga undundundu, undlebe ezinyezezwe ezinyazezwe, hloko elihle, ozala umamanci, umambali, umaqholo, umafumba. I am an African queen wearing an African crown. That's your girl. So guys, today I'm actually coming up with actually a topic that it is a topic in it that affects most of us. You may not be affected by this topic actually at the moment, but or because maybe you were not aware, but it actually affects most of us. My topic for the day today is we are a broken nation and we make it feel like it's okay to actually break others too. So basically, I think I'm actually going to make different videos regarding this topic because it's actually very broad. When I say very broad, is because as broken as we are actually broken in different ways, and we actually tend to deal with our brokenness in a different way too. We are so angry with the fact that sometimes we can't actually get to the right place on dealing with the situations, or maybe we can't actually get to an actual point of fixing what actually broke you as a person or as a human. So I looked at different types of things that actually breaks us as human, and as much as I am going to break it up, that's why I actually said I am going to actually make different videos so that I can actually explain, so that people understand what I'm trying to say and where I'm trying to go with this topic. But I know for a fact that it's going to actually help a lot of people, because people are like, you get so many people who are angry, but they don't really know the reason why they are angry. And sometimes abanye, they do know the reasons why they are so angry, and you get the point, you get the fact that people are angry at themselves, and then they tend to actually take it out to other people, which is actually not a right thing. But I think it's because it's easier for them Uguti, to take it out on other people. So I'm just gonna make few examples because it's actually something that I did research about, and something that actually did affect me too. But we only actually decided to take different directions in order for us to actually leave, I guess. Because at the end of the day, the important thing is to for us to leave and for us to heal, for us to actually get better. So I know for a fact that there are actually kids who were born in rejection, right? Where their parents actually rejected them. Not to go to they were rejecting them as such, but like they rejected their parents. So it got to a point where a parent ends up not actually, or the other parent ends up not getting to introduce a child to the other parent that rejected them. So basically, that child actually grows with the anger of not understanding ukuthi why I don't have like, why don't I actually have both my parents as I'm struggling as a child, or as I'm actually growing as a child. What whereas as children we actually tend to or get to deal with different challenges when we are growing up. But now, for a fact that both my parents are not around, and both my parents are not supportive, and both my parents are just not getting along. So basically, that actually affects a child, whereas the person tends to grow up with this anger of why me? Why am I actually facing these difficulties? Whereas even if the person has both parents, but now I'm not telling you in life they are there. But now it feels like maybe they would have been better if both my parents were supportive when I was growing up. So basically, those are the things that I need to touch on, and those are the things that I feel ukuthi we should talk about. As because Nami, I'm actually a parent now, and I am actually one of the kids who were actually uh, rejected by my father. However, in a long run, I ended up speaking to my dad. Like, or I grew to a point whereas I need to actually ask questions from my dad in order for me to understand what was the reason for him to actually think Uguti. He can just say he doesn't want anything to anything to do with that child. Whereas I actually got to a point of understanding why did he actually do that. So sometimes those things affect us in a way that you get other parents oguti and they do actually what build a wall between the other party of a parent, whereas if it was a situation you could see, let's say a mother gives a child a chance to have a relationship with a father, not to go to have a relationship as such because it's something that cannot be forced, since the father said or denied responsibility or rejected his responsibility. But for the fact that as a mother, I feel Ukuti, there is no need for you to actually build that wall. Um, for instance, to actually talk bad about the father, even though the father is not there and you are struggling as a mother. I'm not saying Uguti, what I'm saying is right, but there are a lot of things that we go through that actually gets us to get to that point as parents or as mothers. But now, my issue here is um, I feel Uguti it's fair for a child to actually get the other part or the other side of the story so that the child can decide Uguti, what do I do next, or how do like I actually get or resolve this situation. Because as much as this thing keeps on happening, it happened with our great grandmothers, great grandparents, I would say. It happens with our grandparents. It actually happened with our parents. It's actually happening with us. So for us to actually break Leo Cheney is to find the actual reason, or because I feel Luguti, even from that person, Uguti as I decide Uguti, why am I rejecting this child, or why am I actually rejecting the mother? Now it actually comes a long way because now he was broken by something at that time, or he was broken by something maybe long time ago, and he feels ukuthi he's not ready to be a father, or he feels ukuthi and it's not a right time to actually father a child. So I'm not making excuses for the people who are doing these things. However, we must actually look at the root of where did this thing begin. And it's very important because as much as we're going, like as much as we keep on stepping in the same mistake, whereas um our great grandparents actually stepped on, our parents stepped on, our grandparents stepped on, we just need to find a way to deal with it. Yes, it is true. You can't actually force a parent to father a child. You can't force a parent to mother a child. You can't force like both parties to work together. Ukuthi bakhulise umntwana. Yes, the law has actually decided to come in, or most of the time people say it's actually better to involve the law in these matters. However, it's very difficult for others because sometimes you get people who does not actually have that information, and when they don't have that information and uthola ukuthi they are too proud to actually ask for assistance or to ask for help, whereas now it actually grows to a point whereas now the mother is angry, now the child is angry. Do you understand in this family ukuthi kwenzakalani? Because now people are so angry into a point yokuthi they can't get to the solution. And I feel ukuthi this thing, as much as sekukhona ukuthi like sikhulunywe ngayo or kukhulunywe ngayo right now, as it has been pointed ukuthi most cases it's actually mental health um, problems, whereas people need to deal with themselves, people need to deal with their pain. It's actually something that has been spoken about a long back in the days. However, implementation has not been taken or steps has not been taken. So basically, right now, in order for us to help each other, is to get the root of what really happened. How did? Because Mina, if I make a mistake, sorry, if I can actually make or tell a story regarding how I grew up and how did I get to speak to my dad and how did my actually childhood was for me to actually get to a point that I'm at right now. I cannot say I'm actually 100% okay or I understood fully what really happened. Excuse me. So, but like, uh, at least I do have closure on what my dad was dealing with at that time, even though I don't really know the actual reason or the actual pain that he was going through. However, that actually has broke my mother because my mother was still young, and naye it's not like it's something that she was ready to do. But I am grateful at the fact that she did not decide to abort me, and I'm grateful at the fact that she kept me and raised me as a person that I am right now and as a strong woman that I am right now. However, that brokenness and because it's not only a brokenness from her side too, but the humiliation, like she was humiliated but from her family side, whereas okay, so when you actually fell pregnant before you got married, you actually fell pregnant and then you were rejected, you actually fell pregnant, and now you are faced with raising a child alone. So basically, whereas I think my mom was actually she well was lucky at the fact that her family did support her in a long run, because it's something that she actually decided like it's something that I want to do, and since she was coming from a very loving family, they did support her. But for her, that brokenness, like for her, that um, that point of or that part of like 9 months carrying this child, people saying things about her, people well not understanding how you know not good how it happened, but I'm not sure they actually sometimes they say it actually breaks trust as I'm a parent because to look to your parents trust you so much that they never think Ukuthi you can do something like that. But then it was not even one party, whereas my dad was supposed to be part of it too, but now he wasn't there and he did not actually want to involve himself. So those are the things that we need to look at, and as as much as Tina, well, black society, where we look at things in a light way, it's okay. I know vele lezinto ziyenzeka, but the important thing is, as much as zenzeka, um, abanye they tend to kill themselves. Abanye they tend to kill the children, because sometimes they can't deal with the pain that actually comes with this whole challenge. Oh well, with all the challenges that actually happens. But as I was actually telling my story, so I know for a fact that my mom and my dad were still in school when I actually um when my mom fell pregnant. Okay, my mom was still in school, but then my dad was already working. So basically, uh, my mom ended up um, leaving school so that she will actually, I don't know, sorry, uh, well, because of pregnancy and stuff. And back in the days, I think she was supposed to stay at home. So basically, as a child as she was, so she didn't actually get a chance to finish her matric, because now I was there. So as much as her family was supportive, and as much as the family was there for her, so basically it has happened that, okay, so I was born, and then when I was born, luckily enough, my grandfather was actually working in the same hospital that my mother gave birth to. So basically, my grandfather was like, "Lo umntwana wakwami," and I am actually taking her home. Not too good, so she was sorry. He was fighting about it, but like, do you understand the fact that I get to be accepted by the grandparents, whereas my dad did not accept me? But like, well, there are actually other deep stories, whereas you get children who don't get to be accepted at all. So as I was growing up, and how I found out